spelled backwards.
I do want to watch this Ben Shapiro thing, but I gotta open this up. All right, I think there's a lot of content out today, boys, so I'm pretty excited. Did you guys actually want to watch that Pine Sap debate for real, or were you guys just joking with me?
You have to bring back religion to America because without borders...
You guys did, right? You guys were lying. It was boring. Nobody was typing in chat. That's how I know you guys were all fucking bored. Watch it, bruh. No, see, you don't. You don't actually. You just say you do.
Free all access benefit for the rest of your life.
What is this?
Well, actually, 5,000 of them
debate?
have already been claimed. Like, so, you know, I'm just saying.
2,000 viewers, dude. That's pretty awesome. Let's go.
And with us for the next decade. Because if you think that what we've done over the past decade is amazing, wait until you see what we have planned for the next decade. Become the backbone of a movement to build the future and ensure that the best is yet to come, not just for this company, obviously, but for the country.
Claim on like 5 channels right now? What is this? And 5 more. Wow, they are. That's crazy. So they're live streaming from... How many combined followers is that? Holy fuck, guys. That's, all right, DailyWire Plus is 3 million followers. Ben Shapiro is 7 million followers. Matt Walsh, 3 million followers. Michael Knowles, 2.5 million followers. So we're at a total of, let's say 16 million total followers. 16 million followers. And then with Isabel Brown and Andrew Clavland, let's say 17 million followers. So they are currently streaming this live to the channels, to 17 million combined followers. And they have managed to garner 2,500 live viewers. 2,500 people are currently watching out of that. Let's do the math on that, actually. What is that ratio? So they have... What did we say? 17 million total followers divided by 20. Well, they have 2335 right now. Or whoopsies, do that backwards. 2335 divided by 17 million. Okay, it's I need a fucking better calculator. Guys, give me a second. Guys, give me a sec. My calculator can't handle this. Give me a second. It's a very, very small percentage. The percent is too small. What is that? That's only 4 zeros. So that is 0.00001% of their total audience has decided to tune into this live stream.
God of Conquest 91 cent $3.21. I will never forgive Daily Wire for canceling the Brett Cooper Snow White movie. Ben Shapiro should be arrested for that alone.
That is true. That is so and they just have Groypers in the chat making fun of. Bye. It was fun watching ads with you, Groypers. Goodbye. Hello. So and even with that, even with all of that, even with a 0.00001% of audience tuning in from their 17 million fucking followers, the chat is still just people posting Groypers, people posting juice emojis when Ben Shapiro's on screen. Ben is a juice worm. America first. Ben debate Nick. Debate Nick. Bro, that is crazy, man. That's
offers
insane.
and announcements, unlimited access to all of our films.
Fuck me, I'm like randomly clicking in the live stream, by the way, and I'm just hitting random ads. Can we get to it?
This is kind of this.
It's the stage direction.
So is this a big deal? Let's hear it. What
Donald
do
Trump,
they have to say?
Not the fire. Let fire.
Boom! Lock in. I'm so excited.
So what? We're just going to kibitz for the first part of it? Is that the idea, or we're going to
Hey, I'm not fucking Jewish, Michael Knowles. I'm actually a Catholic. What's a kibitz?
actually just jump into the show?
My favorite part is when Knowles reads the stage directions.
Yeah, hold on. I got it. Hold on. What does it say? Look hot. Okay, all right, that's fine.
Yeah, we're there. Yeah.
Ben, you're positively glowing. You're out of the country.
I am out of the country.
Where are you?
I'm still here, and I will say that Donald Trump in Jerusalem is a thing, man. We'll probably talk about it a little bit later, but that dude can that dude can light up a country. I mean, really, really strong stuff. Where are you guys? Yeah, obviously you're back in the States. My understanding is that you
live from Israel. Luckily, we have Ben Shapiro calling in live from Israel on this one. That's pretty awesome, dude.
Clavin are headed to like Yodel in the Alps or something, correct? Next week?
Yes, we're going for strudel in Austria. I'm very excied.
Let's go.
Probably more exciting for Knowles than for Clavin, given the history there.
Do you see how fucking Jewish this dude? They literally it's like 4 Jews are talking to each other. It's like nonstop Jewish talk. It's crazy, dude. Fuck me, these guys are all such good guys. It's so wild. These guys are all like culturally assimilating to this like horrible American Jewish culture of Ben Shapiro.
Other one front. It was a very short period
Except
of time.
for Matt Walsh, who's like clearly been called to the principal's office. Right? Everyone else, Michael Knowles being the goodest little guy, Matt Walsh called to the principal's office, has to answer for what he's been saying.
It doesn't quite get me to Liechtenstein.
Walsh in the little white cock corner band. Yeah. Look at him. He looks so unhappy, dude. While this guy's talking to him about how Austrians hate Jews. That was the implication, is that the Austrian, he wouldn't be happy. Clavland wouldn't be happy to go to Austria because he's Jewish. And that's where Hitler came from, Austria.
And my Bonnie Prince Charlie over there, but it's one step closer.
I can't believe that we're like a minute in and you already did the Bonnie Prince Charlie. Like it should take you at least an hour to get there, but no, we're starting off hot right
That's
here.
actually our whole show. Thanks so much for tuning in, folks. No, do you know what today is?
It's like it's so funny because it like sounds anti-Semitic. Like if you just said this. I tuned into the DailyWire stream, and within 1 minute of going live, Ben Shapiro told us that he was currently calling in live from Israel. Andrew Clavland talked about how he was a bit worried to go to Austria on account of being Jewish. Michael Knowles started off the show with asking if we planned on vitzing around a little bit or just starting the show up. And then also started talking about how he's excited to be going to Austria and about Jewish culture.
Today is actually...
It's so funny. The only one who hasn't talked is Matt Walsh, and he's literally the one who they're having this whole stream about because he's disagreeing with everybody else and saying that they shouldn't just like destroy the far right. Right.
Two momentous events because we're celebrating a decade of the Daily Wire, not just by looking backward, but by looking forward. Also, I don't know if you guys know this. This is the 8-year anniversary of Mr. Walsh at this company.
Is it?
Really?
Yes.
Do we celebrate that exactly? Is that the celebrate? Is that the word we're looking
Mourn,
for?
I think. Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
mean,
do
that's a
I
long
get
time.
anything? Do I get like a
Free circumcision.
a
You're the
cupcake?
bullshit.
It's only $5.
Anything?
And after your $15 deposit, it's really paying that extra $10 surcharge isn't a big deal, you know, because you got it. Most of the payment is out of the way with the initial $40 deposit fee, and then the $15 surcharge immediately following the deposit fee for the deposit. Then there's the free $10 only circumcision, and then a $15 surcharge after that, plus tax, plus donation to Israel. So, you know, basically pretty much free. All in all, about $200. Which is, you know, $250, $300, that's a bargain.
I mean, I think
I don't know a single person who can do a circumcision for under $1,000. So when Ben Shapiro says that he has a deal, you can get a circumcision done, it's only going to cost you $700, you fucking take it, okay?
get a very large check. I mean, like,
Well,
like on a regular
The tip is figured into the price.
basis. So there's that. I mean,
Yeah, but I
can
still
put it
want
in
a
a
cupcake.
You know what we'll give
Barbershop
you, Matt?
quartet.
You do get something. You will get to sound off on whether or not black people are disabled, as the Supreme Court reliably informed me. You will get to sound off on whether or not young Republicans can talk about that in group chats. And you will get to sound off on whether or not Gen Z is de-gayifying itself. All of that you'll get.
Shut the fuck up,
Saying that to me.
Michael Knowles.
No, I'm just saying that.
I kind of hate Michael Knowles as a person. You know what I mean? And I sort of like struggle to get past that. Because he's like a good universe John Doyle. You know, he's like the employed version of John Doyle. You know what I mean? Like if John Doyle went out into the labor force when he was 18 instead of, you know, making YouTube videos and then, you know, stopping making YouTube videos and just like being fucking homeless or whatever he does now. You know what I mean? But like this is what John Doyle would be at 35 if he was employed for one day in his life.
I thought we were because something killed us. I thought we were throwing out.
There was a picture
Yeah,
of you in a car.
John Doyle, if his dick worked. Yeah, that's literally it. Is that Michael Knowles grew up in a time before internet porn, right? He was jerking off to Playboys like a man.
God of Conquest 91 cent $3.26.
John Doyle was
I only like Michael Knowles
jerking
when he's
his
doing
shit
that goofy dance.
every day. Yeah, that is true. I do miss the Michael Knowles dance.
Florida group is
if we're gonna have to deal with Michael
talks
Knowles.
about, and he has a letter on season 3 for. And if you like the soberness, you like this. Let's watch the pilot. It's a banter.
Whoa!
This is highly irregular.
Got 12 dead in the woods.
No, highly irregular is the time I found a human foot in a toaster oven. This is just odd.
The Emmy and Golden Globe award-winning Fargo. 5 out of 5 stars. This thing's only getting bigger. Masterful.
Well, this is a deal.
The triumph. I think I might be in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah. You think this could be like an organized crime thing?
Yeah, we're not really open.
That's okay. We're not really customers.
From Halo.
Is he listening to me?
Cut off his ears.
I never killed anybody before.
Everybody's doing it.
I gotta be honest. I got some remorse.
Each season, a unique story.
He's still standing. Hit him again.
Give me a chocolate glaze and...
Fargo. Every episode.
Boom.
Now streaming FX on Hulu.
I really don't like that black character from Halo. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen him in like, I feel like 10 fucking films. You know what I mean? And he's always playing the exact same character where it's like the cool black guy with like a white wife. You know, you know what I mean? I only ever see him cast in these like what a white 38-year-old millennial thinks black people are type roles, you know? And it just like rubs me the wrong way so bad. I hate it so much. I hate his character so much, and it's the same insufferable character every time, where he just has a white wife and he walks around with his white wife who's an intelligent like academic, you know, and then he'll come over and he'll be like, "Damn, baby, these racists are trying to lynch me," and she'll be like, "I know that you can handle them," and he'll be like, "Yeah, that's right, baby," right? And then he goes and he kills everybody. It's just like every single time I can't fucking take it, dude. I just hate the character. I just hate him. I hate him.
American statesmen have given us some great
Ooh.
Thomas Jefferson, equal.
Ooh. Wait, actually, maybe that was funny. Let's let him cook.
Minorities are disabled. I'm Michael Knowles. This is the Michael Knowles Show.
And there we go. Clip it. Clip it. Start the clip right there when I go back. Oh, look at his little dance. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at that little dance. Woo. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's right. Michael Knowles, baby. Let's go. Press one. Yeah, Michael Knowles.
Oh, there's the
Do
picture.
that
I don't know
little
if
dance.
this, yeah, that was me in the car.
I love that little dance.
You know, when I look back at these videos now, I'm mostly perplexed by
Zesty goat.
the hair. Like I didn't learn to comb my hair until I was about 32 years old. Like that's actually true.
Holy fuck, bro is such a chud.
And I don't have great hair now, but at least I comb it. And it's so at some point between like around 32 or 33 years old, I said I should probably start combing my hair at this point.
How fucking old are you now, dude? Matt Walsh.
And I did, but this was before that, so you can see it just looks like a dead animal.
Bro, the vibe is fucking atrocious here. This is like insane.
Sitting on my head. It looks like a toupee. It looks like
dude, it's so crazy. It's like so corporate. It's so cooked. Fuck me.
I don't know how my wife let me walk out of the house like that, but she let me walk out of the house like that.
Dude, I feel like bro.
Florida Groipa just gifted 1 subscription on Kick.
I'm just like relating so much to Matt Walsh. Dude, Matt Walsh sounds exactly like I do every time an HR lady asks me a question on fucking Zoom, dude. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I mean? Where you just go into this like generic, like feel good little message, and then you hope that once you're done talking, they'll just like move on to someone else. You know, you know what I mean? Just like the like deep concern in his voice as he tries to be like, wow, yeah, well, this weekend, oh geez, I had a fun old time. I mostly stayed at home and did some chores, but you know what? I spotted a little bird flying, you know, just like just a fake story. Hey, what did you do for your weekend, Anon? I saw a bird. I've literally said that before. Sorry, that's a real story. Because I learned really quickly, right, to not actually tell them what I do on my weekends, no matter what. No matter what, you have to just tell them like a fake story and be a boring bastard, or else they will try to ruin your whole life over it. I've told this before, but I accidentally told somebody that I had gone to Vegas over the weekend to the AF Vegas event, okay? And then that was the start of a 3-month investigation to whether or not I showed up to work drunk, because that's what they apparently had relayed to corporate, was that I had showed up to work drunk, and I had to prove through gas slips, that through my credit card gas purchases, that I fucking drove back from Vegas to Texas, so there's no way I could be fucking drunk. And then do you know what happened after that? They said, shit, well, weird. That was weird well, you know what? I'm glad we had an investigation to make sure. That's awesome, dude. Isn't that fun? Isn't it fun? So that's a little tip to you. Always lie at work. Never tell a single person anything that you ever do at work a single time, or else they're going to try to ruin your whole life over it.
Many times for years.
I mean, I feel like she didn't let you walk out of the house because you were literally broadcasting in a car. So you basically...
Sorry, I got really pressed over. Just thinking about it makes me so mad. I know exactly who it was. It was this dumb bitch secretary who was friends. I should have known. That's literally what it was. I've thought about this a lot, by the way. But I remember I walked into the office and I go, hey, how's it going? I talked to the secretary. I always try to be nice to secretaries because I know that they're horrific cunts. And no, she was like a 50-year-old, morbidly obese, horrible cunt secretary. Secretaries are only hot in porn. In real life, they're all 60 years old and 500 pounds, and they're the worst people that have ever lived on the planet. Every single one of them. Anyway, but I walked in and I said, hey, how's it going? I was being really nice to her. And she goes, oh, you know, I'm friends with your secretary. And my secretary is the worst one. No, anyway, she was like really tripping on me. It was a whole thing. Anyway.
You just stayed in your car all day, right? You might have lived
there.
But
I should have known. I should have known that she was going to try to fucking ruin my life over it. My secretary was really pissed because she didn't like that I was young. That's it. Yeah. She didn't like that I was young, and she really wanted me to just like be homeless instead and not have a career.
Back there.
I mean, she really hated how young, the fact that I was young.
I do like that our idea for your show originally was that you were just going to sit in your car and what kind?
You were scammed? Well, you weren't this time, so that's all right.
What kind of car is that? That doesn't look like a super nice car, actually. That looks like.
I don't want to admit what kind of car that was. This was we had one car. It was my wife's car. She brought it into the marriage. It was a Passat. It was a Volkswagen.
Okay, dude. This is like the 8-hour version. I can't listen to this fucking kibitzing, dude.
Welcome.
Trump is Putin.
American statesmen have given us some great.
Oh, dude, these are both fucking 50 minutes long. Where's the shorter one?
These people, all of whom.
All right, let me see the Michael Knowles take.
Are by definition political operatives who know exactly
how. Do you guys want to watch the fucking hour-long struggle set, or do you guys just want to watch this guy's take? I don't really care.
How to work the media and how to stab people in the back and all the rest. It's just people jockeying for power. Politico breaks a juicy little story that young.
You guys wanted to watch the struggle session or the quick one? Press 1 for the struggle session and press 2 for this.
Republicans, which is there's a group called the Young, and I'm not just talking about young people who vote Republican. I'm talking the young. There's the college Republicans. There's the Republican National Committee. There's a group called the Young Republicans.
You guys want? All right, I guess we'll do that then. Whatever.
I don't care what you did in your career.
Stop about whether Starbucks is going to start serving pumpkin spice latte yet. Like he will not stop with this crap. And worst of all, K-pop Demon Hunters ukulele covers.
Years ago, this big hit piece revealing the private
Sorry, I'm just trying to get through all the fucking ads and dog shit.
group chat conversation of some young Republicans.
Okay, here we are.
And the young Republicans are not elected officials. They're not anyone that anyone's even heard of for the most part. There's one person in the group chat, apparently, who works in the Trump administration, who is not recorded.
So, all right. We got to deal with this fucking super chatter. He just keeps sending in. I try to ignore him, bros, but he keeps sending in more fucking money. So I'm going to have to acknowledge him. All right. All right. He's done it. All right. Come on. Give me a second. And it's your fault, you son of a bitch. It's because you tried to scam me on a fucking media super chat. Literally. It's probably you, Karasu. Or Kamasa, one of you two, you fucking British, Japanese femboy.
Anonymous sent $3. Right. You scammed my power chat regarding this.
Yeah, well, you scammed
Anonymous
me.
Anonymous sent $5.
Yeah,
it looks like Gen Z isn't so heckin' based according to this long-haired baby Russell.
$6 media, just saying. Thanks for the $5.
There's an article claiming that Gen Z is becoming more Christian.
Christian resurgence? Gen Z is reversing a decades-long trend of
$6. Just hire a hot secretary. Put in job description you have to be able to lift up to 100 pounds unassisted, somewhere buried in there. Then if she gets fat, have a 100-pound package delivered. She can't lift it? Fired.
You know, nowadays they couldn't say the shit they wanted to say. They had the fake orgasms and shit. We can tell niggas today, hey, I wanna
come, motherfucker. You're such a fucking hoe. I love it.
Tiny number of people in the U.S. identifying as Christian.
Now, I'm going to rip the Band-Aid right off and tell you that this is not happening. This idea mostly comes from a document called the Quiet Revival, published by the British and Foreign Bible Society earlier this year, which uses YouGov surveys in England and Wales from 2018 and 2024 to claim that church attendance rose from 8% to 12%, which is technically a 50% increase. Problem is, out of the 13,000 people they interviewed, only a few hundred were Gen Z men. On top of that, 13,000 people in England and Wales isn't a good sample size when you
shut up, dude. Fucking shut up, you dumb piece of shit retard. Fucking liar. Listen up. You want sparkling and still. Act like you drink sparkling water before you came out here. You're such a fucking.
I'm a sick fuck, I like a quick fuck.
I'm a sick fuck, I like a quick fuck. I'm a sick fuck, I like a quick fuck. I'm a sick fuck, I like a quick fuck. I'm a sick fuck, I like a quick fuck. I like my dick suck. I like
you a sick truck. I buy you some new tits. I get you that nip tuck. How you start a family, the condom slipped up. I'm a sick fuck, I'm inappropriate. I like hearing stories, I like that hoe shit. I wanna hear more shit, I like the hoe shit. Send me some more shit, you trifling hoe bitch. You're such a fucking hoe.
Damn.
I love it.
So good, dude.
You're such a fucking hoe. I love it.
You know, nowadays they couldn't say the shit they wanted to say. They had the fake orgasms and shit. We can tell niggas today, hey, I wanna
come, motherfucker. Bing.
You consider that there are.
Oh, dude, this is so fucking stupid. Like, shut the fuck. They always do this shit, man. I fucking hate them so much because of this. Because this is just lying. You know, you're just like a dumbass, retard, idiot liar now. You know? And there's really like not a recovery from this because of how dishonest you're being. Saying that 13,000 people is a bad sample size for you know, whatever, anything is stupid. Right now in America, all of our polling data for our population of 400 million is based off of 3,000 votes, 4,000 votes, 5,000 votes. And we consider that a 90% standard confidence, what is it? Standard of confidence. Okay? This is just how the statistics work. You have to take a small sample size, and there is going to be error. But, you know, you can't fucking call up 300 million people and ask them about anything.
Are 380 million native English speakers across the world who are reporting on this story, mostly here in the United States. And to top it all off, other studies by larger and more reputable organizations do not find that Gen Z is becoming more Christian. At best, national declines in church participation are simply flatlining, not reversing.
So what the fuck does that mean?
That being said, something is happening with Gen Z that might look more religious or conservative on the outside. 3 decades of economic crises, political gridlock, and failing ideas about how to be successful have deeply scarred today's young adults. We don't buy into a lot of the cultural baggage of Gen X or older millennials because the things they said would make—
How old are you? Whoa. Whoa. We
make us happy and successful turned out to not be true. A lot of stereotypically liberal ideas, like
plus
the
91 cents $3.44 tell me this guy didn't pass statistics without telling me that this guy didn't pass statistics.
Breaking news. These studies are wrong because of our small, only 13,000 sample size. Wow. How could you ever make a statistical assessment based off of only 13,000 participants?
Notion that everyone needs to go to college, that hardcore recycling and using paper straws was going to save the planet, or things like veganism and socialist coffee shops that claim to be for the common man while selling $20 lattes, all of that feels like a scam to us because, quite frankly, it was. So when news outlets see young people rejecting those things in exchange for family, community, and stability, they think that there's this resurgence of traditional values going on. But here's the kicker. Gen Z is also rejecting a lot of stereotypically conservative ideas too, like company loyalty, climbing the corporate ladder, trickle-down economics, and
all right, this guy's just a dumbass. This is like, you know, like, it's like a blind person trying to feel a fucking elephant in a room. You know what I mean? And like trying to describe what they're I think it's a fucking giraffe. I think it's a rhino. I think it's a fucking horse, dude. You're just idiots. You have no clue what the fuck you're talking about.
And the overall idea that policies that
they reject a lot of corporate ideas like climbing the corporate, or a lot of Republican ideas like climbing the corporate ladder. Boom. Bro, you need to get a job today.
Billionaires are somehow going to help common workers when half a century of wage stagnation proves that wrong. Not to mention the ideas that trade unions are bad while large abusive organized religious institutions are good. That all feels like a scam to us too. And it confuses the hell out of older people who have followed everything that the two-party political system has told them for decades.
You weren't scammed, Cyrus. Shut the fuck up. You made me look and everything. Now I don't even know what he's talking about in the video anymore. Okay, you fucking dumbass. Oh, whoops, never mind.
Are not.
Right, I gotta ban him. He's not gonna let me get away with that. All right, we'll see him in 5 minutes.
Snowflakes, and we are not bootlickers. For the most part, young adults in America today want financial stability, we want to get married and start a family, we want to own a home, and we want our taxpayer dollars to go towards things like the public infrastructure, universal healthcare, and sustainable—
Dude, shut up.
Cyrus sent $3. Dumb duel is looking homeless. What's going on with this nigga? He looks 30 years older, Link.
We'll check.
It was 92% white. Flash forward to 20.
Ooh, This is why I said he's Michael Knowles without a job.
Earlier, we pulled up the demographic makeup of New York City over time, and we saw in 1940 it was 92% white. Flash forward to 2024, it's like 33% white. And then and if you look at like a voting map of New York City, even with the last election, like yes, it is true, Trump made inroads with Hispanic voters, East Asian voters like Flushing, Queens. He had a decent turnout there. But broadly speaking, the districts in, or the parts of New York City that vote Republican are the predominantly white parts out of the outer boroughs. And there's no question about that. And so, like, for the Republicans, and they're scratching their heads saying, well, how can someone like Mamdani get in? My response is just like, because you allowed that voter base that would be there for a sensible candidate to basically get exterminated. Those people all live in Florida. Those descendants of those people in 1940 live in Florida now. They live in North Carolina.
Yeah, you just have to offer free stuff and they'll vote for you. It's really that simple. I mean, anyone living in New York will tell you, like, the economy is sort of fake. I mean, I guess you could say that to an extent nationally as well. But when you're walking through New York City and you're like bumping shoulders with all these people are not like on their way to work.
Right.
They're not like on their way to some job. These people are like collecting government benefits, and they're basically just there because it is a hub of resources. Which
John
is why,
Rocker spoke about this.
That's so true. There's always this like argument about like, why is it that the cities are blue but the states are red? And I remember like guys like Ben Shapiro.
It's so funny that he's in this leather chair. You know what I mean? Like, isn't that crazy? Isn't it crazy to see some shit like that? You know, because to me, I would never buy like a leather. Like, where is he? What like old man's home is he in? I always feel this way because Doyle isn't in his like studio or whatever. Like, but every time he calls into like Tim Pool or whatever, he's in this like leather chair and like a little like, because this is like plywood, you know? This doesn't even look like actually like finished wood that you would use on an interior. And this is an oil lamp right here. Do you see this? You know what I mean? Like, and he's in this like old leather chair. Like, are you living with Glenn Beck right now? Are you in Glenn Beck's like shed? Like living on his spare furniture right now? What the fuck is going on?
Give these like intellectualized answers where it's like, well, if you're in the city, there's more of a focus on the collective. Whereas if you're out in the sticks, it's like the individual. And it's like, dude, like, okay, it's probably more that these kinds of people who are attracted to the Democrat Party could not exist out in the sticks, not because they're not individualists or whatever, but because there's no like literal like hub of resources that is willing to distribute free stuff to them in a way that there is in a city. So they flock to cities because there's stuff all.
I don't even agree with this. I think it's mainly like Hollywood. I got this take from watching 90 Day Fiance, honestly. It like provides like crazy insight into these migrants' brains. But like unironically, can I tell you, like, I feel like a huge reason that like a lot of these migrants go to New York and LA is literally just because they grew up watching movies that were about New York and LA. And then they come to America and they go, I want to go to New York City. I want take me New York. Yes. You know, and that's like literally all they can fucking think. All the Hispanic women, all the Brazilian women, they all want to go to Miami. Why? Because that's all they think about in their shithole country. They just want to be like a hot slut in Miami, you know?
Around that is going to be given.
And that's like really as deep as it goes. I don't even think that they're thinking about like, oh, where am I going to be able to maximize my standard of living versus the amount of welfare that will be provided by the state. No, I don't think that they're thinking about that at all. I don't think that they have a brain. I don't think that they're capable of like deep thought like that. I think that mainly they just go, I want to go America. I want to go America. New York City.
To them for free.
But black, you know?
You can call that collectivism if you want. But the bottom line is that anywhere where you have these like hubs of resource distribution that are going to be offered to these people for free at the expense of the American taxpayer, then yeah, that's where these people are going to go, and they're going to vote Democrat and they're going to concentrate there. And so it's less about like, you know,
attacking the urbanites than it is just like understanding kind of those dynamics at play, because I don't think that we should retreat from cities. I think that American cities are some of the best in the world, maybe even the best in the world. We should be.
Do you ever think about how crazy it is that all the Germans in America just fucking moved up to like Minnesota and fucking like Montana and shit, like, and the Swedes joined them. The Swedes like saw what the Germans were doing and they're like, oh, that's a really good fucking idea. You know, I know that like mass migration doesn't really happen as like a super planned thing, but it's just like genuinely wild that like at no point were the Germans ever like, what if we went to Florida? Hey, just heard about Colorado. You know, I mean, we get the mountains, we get the snow, but it's just not as cold. Like, why Montana specific? Why does it have to be this cold? But why does it have to still be cold when we move there? Like, what if it was a bit warmer? Just like a bit. Like, I'm just saying, we get to choose for once. I would choose to be a bit warmer, maybe 2 or 3 degrees warmer, and we can do that. Why do we have to maintain the same latitude?
Proud of that, and that they have become these like sort of, you know, oh, we don't really want to go there. That is actually a point of shame. We should not be happy about that. We should take our cities back.
That's so real. We need to take our cities back. It's so crazy. He's really locked into like a 2021 discourse. And I think that's because that's when he stopped hanging out with Groypers. Unironically. Sorry, I didn't make that connection until just now. But, you know, 2021 discourse for the terminally online politics guys.
American
tax. This is all just like, it's just this like positive forwardism, which is like referencing racial demographic differences, you know, but not explicitly saying it. And, you know, just, you know, he's being a positive. We need to retake the cities. Okay, how? What are we doing? What does that even fucking mean, right? It's just like positive sentiment, and he's not even willing to say that there is a racial like issue that is specifically happening here. We're just sort of talking about, you know, demographic shift, right? Which is like halfway based, but it's not actually based.
Then yeah, that's where these people are going to go, and they're going to vote Democrat, and they're
voting Democrat. They're going to vote freaking Democrat and turn this country into a socialist hellhole. I remember I had a friend like this, right? Like I remember when we were 14, one of my friends crashed out on everybody because he said he was 14 now, so he had to lock in and like get a job or whatever. But he like crashed out on all of us. Anyway, he came back like 2 years later when he was like 16, and he was like, yeah, I was kind of just spazzing out for no reason. I don't know why I was doing that. I just felt like I turned 14, so I had to lock in. Anyway, he came back like 2 years later, and all of his jokes were from like 2 years ago. He had all of the same like inside jokes as us, and we realized, and then he started inviting us to like hang out with his friends because he just like found other friends to game with. And we were playing with them, and they knew all of our inside jokes. Like, he had stagnated from 2 years ago because he wasn't one of the funny guys in the group, you know? But he had taken all of our inside jokes and all of our funniness, and he had pawned them off to this other group, and now they thought that he was like the funny guy, or like one of the funny guys, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's happening like so hard with John Doyle too. Because he's just saying all of the like Groyper 2021 rhetoric, you know, and like Groyper 2021 jokes and shit like that. And he's, you know, like everything he says is just something that I'd expect to read on Gab in 2021. Tell me I'm wrong, you know? Tell me I'm fucking wrong. Tell me that this doesn't all sound like some shit you'd hear on Gab 2021.
Hey, it's probably more that these kinds of people who are attracted to the Democrat Party could not exist out in the sticks. Not because they're not individualists or whatever, but because there's no like literal like hub of resources that is willing to distribute.
It's literally 2021, right? All right. Anyway, dude, see, we're on two fucking tangents. We're on a John Doyle tangent that's off a fucking Gen Z's Christian tangent.
Energy sources that other developed nations in Europe and East Asia
God
are
of
able
Conquest,
to have.
91 cents, $6. John Doyle is a
weenie. Bro, again?
They had the fake orgasms and shit. We can tell niggas today, hey, I wanna come, motherfucker.
Why again? You're such a fucking hoe. I love it. Okay, I do like this song though. But wait, listen. All right, we'll save that for like a Root review or something.
With much smaller budgets than the United States. And we know that it's possible because
you really wanted a game? You literally just want to listen to the same. Okay, fuck, dude, shit. All right, hey, shit, I don't care.
Because we have had the internet in our pockets our entire
God of
lives
Conquest,
and have
91
walked
cents,
degree.
$6, John
I
Doyle
have
is a weenie.
long hair. I grew up in Nevada, which is a pretty liberal state most of the time. And I've obviously got no problem with like wearing jewelry or being a little—
Dude, you're like a fucking cringer though, okay? Our whole generation isn't idiots like you. All right, you know what I mean? Like high key? All right. Oh, I have long hair. I'm an ugly chud. I have no style and I'm wearing jewelry. Okay, well, not all of us. We're not all like that, okay?
flamboyant on camera, sounds pretty yuppie from the outside. But I worked rural, blue-collar jobs to pay my way through college. I got married to a woman in my 20s. I'm obsessed with personal finance.
I think that you're a millennial.
And my wife and I both have the expectation that I will be our main financial provider so long as I am able, because that makes me feel good and confident, and that's what makes her feel safe and secure. And we're saving up so that we can someday raise kids on a plot of land with chickens and fruit trees and solar panels and all that jazz. We don't make sense to the Democratic or Republican establishments because we are both yuppie and yeehaw at the same time. And it's my view that this is what's
a third position. No, we're just fucking fascists, dude, okay? But you're gay. Appropriate. I like that whole shit.
Send me some more shit, you
trifling hoe, bitch, bitch, bitch.
You're such a fucking hoe. I love it. You're such a fucking hoe. I love it.
You know, all day they couldn't say the shit they wanted to say. They had the fake orgasms and shit. We can tell niggas today, hey, I wanna come, motherfucker.
We're watching this, right?
Having said anything, so he was in it.
We're a yuppie plus a yeehaw, dude. Shut up today. Fuck you. You're a millennial.
But as far as we know, he didn't say anything quote unquote offensive. But there were other comments made in the group chat, as Politico reveals, that were a lot of edgy jokes and a lot of offensive language that's being used in the.
Would you guys smoke a joint with Matt Walsh, Ben Shapiro, Michael Knowles, and Andrew Cleveland? Would you guys do that? What do you think?
Group chat.
Would you what about a big old blunt? What about a massive fucking stogie blunt? Hella fucking 2-ounce big boy blunt.
And most of it, as Politico,
you all have to share it, and it's like a really big cigar. You have to like open your jaw to get around.
finally admits in the article, if you read all 57 paragraphs of it, they'll finally admit that, yeah, most of this is supposed to be a joke. Although they don't.
Sorry, I made myself laugh. Does anybody remember that picture of that? It's a really old picture of Jaden smoking a cigar. It's like honestly one of the funniest fucking pictures on the internet. I wonder if I could find it just by looking up Jaden cigar. Fuck me, it's like genuinely so hilarious. I can't. It's like ruined cigars for me. Unironically, I can't not think about it. Cigar. Damn, come on, you gotta post it. Somebody has this. No! All right, nobody has it. It's over.
Of course, put that in.
He was just, he was end-lipping it, okay? In, like, the gayest way possible. Like, just imagine, like I don't even know how to fucking draw this, dude. He was end-lipping it like crazy. Like, this is bro's lips. This is bro's lips. Right? This is one lip. This is two lip. He was just, like, full on, just like... just like throating the thing, you know, and then the cigar presumably would have gone back like this into his mouth. But there's just a picture of him ad-libbing it like that. And it's just like so hilarious.
In the headline, and you know the title of the article.
I can't stop thinking about it. I really think about it all the time. At least once. I think about that picture more than I think about him.
Has the quote, "I love Hitler," and when you look at the context of that comment in the group chat, it's very obvious that it is a joke. It's sarcasm, very much in line with the kind of sarcasm Republicans use all the time about, yeah, I'm real far right. I guess I love Hitler. You know, along the lines of me having theocratic fascist in my Twitter bio, which isn't entirely a joke, but it's mostly a joke. So this is kind of...
Oh, see, well, when Nick does that, everybody gets super fucking confused. I'm glad. All right, I'm glad that we established that we understand jokes that are serious but not fully serious. Okay, because just in other circumstances, it seems like everybody gets really fucking confused and they have no clue.
This kind of breaks down a few different ways, and for me, the story here is not the group chat, because these are private messages between people that no one knows. These are not relevant people. And the only reason why the media is showing us this, the only reason why they're doing this is obviously it's a political hit. And in particular, they're trying to distract from the fact that the left has spent the last month, I mean, really much longer than that, but especially the last month, openly celebrating political violence. And now we have a attorney general candidate, who's probably going to be the next attorney general of Virginia, who was in his own messages saying, not as a joke, that he wants his political opponents to die and even their children to die. And he was very specific that he was not joking about it. And so the left is looking to distract from that, and their way of doing it is by somehow obtaining these messages and putting them out to distract us. And, you know, some Republicans have been very quick to offer their denunciations, to say how offended they are, how horrible these messages are, that everybody involved should...
I don't know why people do this, honestly. Can I say? I don't know why people do this. I feel like this was kind of like a little bit my takeaway from the... I don't know if you guys remember the Roblox pedophile scandal that we were reacting to the other day. It's just that, like, I'll never get that. I'll never get why people want to be like constantly in group chats, like saying bad shit that can get them cooked. I don't understand the appeal. I don't understand why people do that shit. I don't understand the need to like tell other people about like the licks that you've been catching. You know, you know what I mean? I guess it's literally just rap snitches. But I feel this so real. Like, people literally need to just listen to the fucking song Rap Snitches and realize, like, if you want to think that you're like some like awesome like Republican infiltrator, then you got to stop like fucking telling all your business over here. You got to stop. Okay, awesome. I love...
Yo. MF Doom.
You know what I mean? But seriously though, where's the baby?
What up, nigga?
Not much.
What's the word? It's cracking, boy.
Same old shit, kid.
Man, rap snitches, man.
I see him, dude. Political snitches too.
Man. The fuck, man.
Fucking racist snitches. In the fucking group chats, yeah, man.
Rap snitches,
telling all their business, sit in the court and be their own star witness.
Do you see the perpetrator?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Fuck around, get the whole label sent up for years. Rap snitches, telling all their business, sit in the court and be their own star witness. Do you see the perpetrator?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Fuck around, get the whole label sent up for years. Tight profile, low, like A and paid in full. Attract heavy cash, cause the game's centrifugal. Mr. Fantastic, long though like elastic. All my life with twin Glocks that's made out of plastic. Can stand up brown nosing nigga, fake ass bastard. Admiring my style, tour bus through Manhattan, plotting, playing the quickest. My flow's the sickest, my hoes be the thickest, my dro the stickiest. Street nigga, Stamped and bona fide. When beef jump, niggas come get me cause they know I ride. True to the ski mask, New York's my origin. Play a fake gangster like an old accordion. According to him, when the D's rushed in, complication from the wild testimony was thin. Caused this man to go up and off the board, hit him again. Lame rap snitch nigga, even told on the Mexican.
So true, even told on the that's Nick.
Rap snitches, telling all their business. Sit in the court and be their own star witness. Do you see the perpetrator? Yeah, I'm right here. Fuck around, get the whole label center for years. Rap snitches, telling on their business. Sit in the court and be their own star witness.
Dude, it's literally like the perfect song. Like, everybody needs to listen to this. This is why I relate so much to rap, okay? You know, because they were in the 90s what we are now, okay? The feds were after them, the feds are after us, okay? The system was against them, the system is against us. Everybody, you know, all these fake-ass bastards and fucking industry plants are dominating our scene. And now with us too, dude, okay? You gotta listen. You gotta listen to the '90s goats. They know what they're talking about. Let's have MF Doom hop on this track real quick.
The perpetrator, yeah, I'm right here. Fuck around, get the whole label center for years.
There's rules to this shit.
Fools didn't care.
Literally, listen to fucking MF Doom here, dude. There's rules to this shit. Fools don't care. Everybody wants to rule the world with Tears for Fears, dude. It's literally still so true. Why are you guys in group chats talking about how fucking based you are? Like, and the thing is, like, with this specific scenario, I don't even think that these guys are all groypers or are actually based, but people are totally doing this still. And, like, the message is still, like, super important. Even to these fucking norm groids who've now learned the hard lesson that you can't joke about being a fucking anti-Semite. But listen to my man MF Doom.
Get the whole label center for years.
True, there's rules to this shit. Fools didn't care. Everybody wanna rule the world with Tears for Fear. Yeah, tell it on the mountain hill. Running up their mouth bill. Everybody doubting still. Former, keep it up and get tested. Pop through your bubble vest or double-breasted. He keep a lab down south in the Little Beast. So much heat you would've thought it was the Middle East. A little grease always keeps the wheels a-spinning, like sitting on 23s to get the squealers grinning. Hitting on many trees, feel real linen. Spitting on enemies, get the steel for 10 men. With no brains but gum flap. He said his gun clapped, then he fled after one slap. Son, shut your trap, save it for the bitches. Delicious, rap snitch delicious.
Know what I'm saying? It's terrible. Crazy, man. I'm just analyzing this whole game.
Me too, man.
Out, man.
It's bugged out. Snitching.
Telling on their own self.
It's a horror.
Fuck around. Go get everybody bag, man. Fuck on, get your mama bag, nigga. You know your grandma used to be bootlegging. Fake hustling, nigga.
That's the funniest part of the whole fucking song. Tell it on your grandma. Grandma people. It's literally so real. It's so real, you fake gangsters.
Go get everybody bag, man. Fuck on, get your mama bag, nigga. You know your grandma used to be bootlegging.
Fake hustling, nigga. It's so real. It's so real.
Be fired, that they should never be allowed.
Sorry. I literally, I can't help but think of this song literally every single time I hear this shit. Like, you fucking dumb motherfuckers, stop snitching on yourselves. Stop. Why are you in group chats with 40 fucking people under your real name talking about how fucking based you are, dude? Why even risk it? Why? Do you see the perpetrator? Yeah, I'm right here.
Politics again. I think that response is foolish. I think it gives the left exactly what they want. I have really appreciated J.D. Vance's response. Now, I think the vice president has struck exactly the right chord on this because he's not going to play the game. And instead, what he's done is he has redirected the conversation back to the thing that the left is trying to distract us from. There's one reason and one reason only that this story exists. And it's to get us to stop talking about Jay Jones and the leftists who've been celebrating the murder of Charlie Kirk for the last month. That's the only reason that the story exists. And so J.D. Vance's point is, no, I'm not going to play that game with you. I'm not going to give you what you want. Instead, I'm going to redirect the conversation back to the thing that you're trying to distract us from, and I think that that's exactly the right move. I think there's some disagreement about that, though. There's more to be said about it. But I'm going to go first to the guy who I think is most likely to agree with me, and that is Michael. Michael.
To the non-Jew first. Can I let me get supported by the only other American in the room real quick? Ben Shapiro is literally calling in from Israel, unironically. Sorry, we established that in the first minute of the show, is that Ben Shapiro is still in Israel, calling in live from Israel.
Matt, I totally agree.
The power of the internet.
Swastika on his forehead.
Yes. Hey, listen, we're Italian, and Mussolini was a complex figure. My only take on this that probably has not been said elsewhere is even the fact that we're talking about the ideology of the far right and comparing the far right to the far left, and whether or not people like Hitler or whatever, is actually kind of missing the point. I strongly suspect these messages were leaked by another young Republican. That has been reported. And having spent a lot of time with New York young Republicans, I promise you, this whole thing is about some petty personal grudge, and it's some power play within New York politics, and it actually has very little to do with the ideology or putative ideology of these texts. But I totally agree. There is no comparison whatsoever between some 19-year-old kid who's making edgy jokes trying to outbaste his friend in a group chat and a former state.
I know he's right. He's just pretending he doesn't actually know this. I don't know why people do this.
Legislator
he's just pretending like he doesn't know the deeper story here, but he clearly did. You can't be that spot on just from intuition. You know what I mean?
The top law enforcement official in Virginia.
He's just pretending like he didn't read it on Twitter, like I also did.
Saying, as you note, Matt, that he is not joking when he calls for the death of his opponents and even the death of their children. So yes, not at all. Now the question then becomes, should we ever police our own? Should we ever have guardrails, or do we say anyone, to the right of Hillary is on our side?
Should we ever? And I don't know. Do you guys think that you've ever done that before? Do you guys think you've ever engaged in gatekeeping or anything? Sorry, let me pull up a old head classic here. This is where my beef with Michael Knowles began. PragerU.
What is the alt-right?
Who's this guy? I know he didn't do his gay little dance, so maybe you can't identify him.
Everybody has an opinion about it, but nobody seems to know exactly what it is. So I took it upon myself to find out.
Oh, thanks.
I took a deep dive into alt-right culture.
I just can't imagine anybody trying to strangle us in the crib or anything. I couldn't imagine. Do you really think somebody would do that? Be a Republican and try to gatekeep and destroy movements that are contrary to their secret desires for America? I don't really know. Do you think Republicans would really engage in cancel culture?
I read their books, listened to their podcasts, watched their videos, followed their blogs, and spoke personally to their leaders. Here's what I learned. First, they're really small, like your high school reunion small. That big national alt-right gathering in Charlottesville in August 2017, yeah, that attracted all of about 600 people.
Boom.
And that's on the high end of estimates. And that infamous torch rally on the evening of August 11th, there were maybe 100 tiki torch
Anonymous
carriers.
sent $3. Owen Benjamin doesn't even have a lot of gold. Some people just enjoy being poor retards.
No way! That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know, dude. He was saying that. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, dude. It's just sad. It's sad to A-Log Owen Benjamin. What is this? Projection is a hell of a drug. I've never bragged about my gold ownership. Let me read what he's replying to first. Fuck me. Can we have this in the background, maybe? What about is Minecraft music on here? Hey guys, how's it going? Got Spotify on. Ooh. Minecraft music? Ooh. The banger. Okay, Owen, you know this is a top signal, right? Oh, and you know this is a top signal, right? When a farmer brags about his investment in precious metals, it might not be euphoria, but it sure is close. I'm not... Fuck, dude. I don't even have a lot. I'm not bragging. You're projecting your inner world on other people. And then, dude, I don't even know what the fuck... I can't even understand what the fuck they're arguing about. This is like halfway into an argument. Projection is a hell of a drug. I've never once bragged about my gold ownership because I have almost none, and that would be crazy. Doesn't have much gold. Awesome. If anything, if I do brag or seek praise, it would fall under the communal narcissism because I want to be seen as someone who's given good advice and helped people. I've thought a lot about this, and it isn't to feed my ego. It's to be believed so that I can help more people for their benefit. I see. Let's go. Press 1 to that. I think you can probably just kind of achieve that by telling people how easy it is to get a financial advisor. Did you know that you don't even need to pay a flat rate? You can just go into a financial advisor and they will give you advice. It will be a fee taken out of your assets every single year at the end of the year. Or you can do commission and then you just have to pay when you buy a stock and sell it. Anyway, I think that's probably the best advice that you can give people. Because, sorry. Anyway, it's still kind of a brag though, so I'm sure, right? Am I crazy? Why the fuck does Owen Benjamin need to be giving people financial advice? Can we just have like licensed professionals do that? Sorry, anyway, it's still kind of a brag though, so I'm sure there's some kind of sliver of inner trauma-based narcissism that I can't perceive, but I'm absolutely not posting as a wealth brag. It's about the shift that's happening quickly. If anything, it's a little unsettling, because I know they made gold illegal to own in 1933 until 1974. I don't actually, is that real? I don't actually like, is that real? I don't actually like when the farmers of man are scared and jumpy, that's when they're the craziest. Wow. All right, well, press 1 to that, Owen Benjamin, or whatever.
But however small it is, the alt-right does have a belief system, a worldview. It's right there in their name. The alt in alt-right means alternative.
Because we're
libtards.
The
alt-right is an alternative to American conservatism. So it's no surprise then that the alt-right has far more in common with the left.
Anyway, I don't think any gatekeeping happens on the right wing at all, actually.
Another alternative to conservatism than it does with the traditional...
It's just so funny to hear them talking about it hypothetically, like as if they could engage. Do you really think that we should start gatekeeping the right wing? Do you think that we should start gatekeeping the far right? Jeez, I don't know, dude.
I think the answer is obviously yes, there have to be guardrails, just like a nation.
I did not tell you to buy silver or gold. I told you that I'm very scared that we're just at the top and that I've felt that way for years.
Circumscribed by its border, so too a political coalition
and I don't feel too fucked up about it.
Circumscribed. That's what delineates it as a specific coalition. But the question is, how are we going to arrive at those guardrails? Are we going to say that anyone who ever gets caught telling an off-color joke by Politico, they're completely cast into the outer
Actually,
dark?
let me check. When would I have bought into gold? It would have been 22. Let's say instead of buying stocks in August 22, I buy gold. Let me check, actually. I'm gonna think about
No, I don't think that's right. I think we should have guardrails, we should police a coalition, and the way we should do it is very carefully. This was Scalia's answer when, as a student, we asked him, hey, where do you draw the limits on the Second Amendment? Where do you draw the limits on stare decisis? And everyone wanted a really ideological answer. And his answer was, very carefully. We kind of know, we're prudent, it's a people business, and should these kids have their lives ruined because they were mouthing off and telling jokes in a group chat? No, I don't think so. I think we need...
But we're not prudent. So, I mean, here's the thing. We're just not. I mean, so I would agree with you that quote unquote policing, you need to be prudent about how you police. I also think that everyone agrees, I would assume, Matt included, and Matt, you told me if I'm wrong here, that there are certain things that can be said.
Oh, dude, I gotta like piss like crazy, dude. It's just really come out of nowhere for me. All right, you guys lock in, listen to this. I'll be right back.
That social consequences should actually attend to. Certainly that's true on the left, right? If you say that you want to murder the Speaker of the House and then calls the kids fascists.
Wait, is this the interesting... Dude, I gotta piss, man. Is this really the one interesting part of the show? Shut up, dude. Shut up. Who was that? Shut up. I gotta piss, man. I'll be right back. Tell me if they say anything interesting. I'll be right back, okay?
Everything you say about the difference between a private group chat between a bunch of young Republican idiots who are outbasing each other, and the Attorney General candidate in Virginia actually saying that thing running for office. Now, I will say I don't think these people are kids. I don't think 31-year-old's a kid. I don't like using the sort of language of kids to describe people who really should be married and have children of their own by this point in their life. And I think the kind of loose playing with that term, as though if you're a 31-year-old, which is what one of these people was, that somehow this is the equivalent of being 17. I don't think that's true either.
But the YRs go down to 22. I mean,
I agree, but some of the people who are being quoted here are in their 30s, some are up all the way up to 40. I get it. Again, I'm not even disagreeing with the motivations of the Politico story. In fact, even on my show today, I talked about the motivations of the Politico story, which, Matt, I agree, are completely scurrilous and designed to distract from the sort of violent rhetoric we've seen from the left. But it has led to, I think, a reactionary response on some parts of the right to say there should be no policing ever at all. No social consequences should ever attend to things that are said on the right. That it's basically just pure my side versus your side. The problem I have is, number one, I think that's immoral, and number two, I don't think that's pragmatic. I don't think that's moral because I think that there are things that get said on the right that are really, really, really ugly, and pretending those away doesn't make them go away. I think that they're rising. I think that they're getting more common. I know that my death threats from that side are getting more common. I know I have more security because of that, and it's not just from the left. I have lots of security from the left, and I also get lots of security from the right. Matt, I think a little bit earlier today you tweeted that kind of your litmus test is the people who are trying to kill you, and I totally get that. I also have that litmus test. The difference is that I think that if somebody tries to kill you, Matt, there's a good shot that it's going to be a leftist. If somebody tries to kill me, it's a frickin' Agatha Christie novel. I just don't know which direction the bullet is coming from at this point, given the sort of various and sundry radical extremes that exist. I'm not going to say that the right is equivalent to the left in this respect, because I don't think it's been mainstreamed to nearly the same effect on the right that it has been on the left. But to pretend that it has not infiltrated a lot of very important spaces, I think is sort of whistling past the graveyard. Now, again, that's not about the Politico story. There's more of a broad commentary about where we are in the movement. And as a matter of sort of morality, we all have things where, again, I'm not saying cast into the outer darkness, right? I'm not calling for any of these people who I think everyone knows who I'm referring to, but I don't think I'm calling for any of these people to be deplatformed, removed from YouTube.
You do, though. Shut up, man.
From Twitter. In fact, I've called for many of these people
to be banned from Twitter. It's so fun that we're having this whole conversation without saying Nick Fuentes' name. Have they said it when I wasn't there?
Nick Fuentes, for example.
Debunked instantly. That's what I get for going up against the Ashkenazi IQ.
Removed from YouTube or removed from Twitter. In fact, I've called for many of these people, Nick Fuentes, for example, to actually be returned to Twitter.
No, you fucking did not. Did he? Did he? Ben Shapiro?
Despite the fact that we have some pretty significant disagreements, including the fact that he thinks that I and people like me are scurrilous, sons of Satan or whatever, however he would put it. But that is a different thing from, is this person part of, quote unquote, the movement that I belong to? And the answer there is he doesn't think I'm part of the movement that he belongs to, which he's made very clear. And so that gets into the question of pragmatism.
Well, that's because you are calling in from fucking Israel, dude. Okay? Does it hit you with a slight bit of irony that you are currently not in America? That you are in Israel calling into this live show to talk about how Nick doesn't consider you part of the fucking movement, so why should you consider him part of your movement? You are in Israel. Matt Walsh, Michael Knowles, that hit you guys a bit odd, maybe?
Morality of when someone says something bad, should you
Why
condemn
exactly does Ben Shapiro need to be in Israel for the peace deal? Did you know that Ben Shapiro was in Israel on October 7th? Actually, that's not true, because he flew he was in the air. He was in the air flying home from Israel when October 7th happened. Did you hear about this? Did you know that? That's literally he was in Israel, October 6th. He flies out of Israel. October 7th happens. He lands and starts tweeting about it October 8th.
And I think that as a general matter, you can do what Winsome Sears did, right? Winsome Sears is running against the attorney general candidate in Virginia. She was asked about the Politico chat. She says, yeah, that's bad.
I unironically do believe that Ben Shapiro works for Israel. I do believe that he's an agent. Like, genuinely, like 100%. I believe it like in a very Epstein way. Not in that like I don't think that Ben Shapiro is like going around fucking people. Like, maybe Ben Shapiro has like a small blackmail operation going where people get to fuck his sister or something like that. But like, it's not what he's all about. Sorry, seriously though. But like, I do think that he's like an agent, actually. Like, I think the October 7th thing is insanely crazy, since we now also know that Mossad essentially planned October 7th and allowed it to happen. I think it's like beyond the pale that like with everything, he's just like an agent now, in the Epstein way, where I think like he was probably like in his career already, and then they just saw that like he was ready to be harvested and brought onto the team.
Now you do Jay Jones, which seems to me like a pretty good answer and a good way of policing.
But actually, he's kind of like a nepotism baby, so maybe he's just always been in this. Yeah.
And then when it comes to the pragmatic,
I just don't actually know that much about Ben Shapiro's backstory, but to say that he wasn't always in this.
Can I say
just Drew, you were in the group chat.
Yeah.
I mean, Drew, sorry, one more point on the. I just want to make one more point here, and then you can say whatever you want. On the pragmatic side, I fundamentally disagree with this idea that the reason that the right, quote unquote, loses is because we fragment while the left is unified. The left is losing because it unified around its crazies. Do not unify around your crazies. Sure, the crazies can vote for you. They can vote for your party. You can't stop them from doing that. It's a free country. But that doesn't mean that they should have like a decisive voice in the future of the movement, because if you do that, you end up with the trans movement running the Democratic Party, and you lose from here to forever. It's the Democratic solidarity that's destroying them, not the Democrats as a sort of fragmentary party.
So hang on, let me we'll go to Drew just a second. I just want to respond to two things there. And the first is, and I've heard this argument that, well, the left is losing because they failed to drive out the radical elements of their party. I think there's a false premise there, though. I don't think that's actually happening. I think Mamdani, one of the most radical political figures we've ever seen in this country, is about to be the mayor of our largest city.
Because there are no Republicans or moderates in New York, man. I mean, Trump's been president twice.
Cuomo?
And it was the trans issue that killed Kamala Harris in the last election, because they won't stop doing the trans issue, which is the most extreme element of the party, including, obviously, what happened to Charlie.
Yeah. And the trans issue was a big problem for it. But that's another thing, too, is that when we talk about the sort of the quote-unquote radical elements of the right versus the radical elements of the left, these are not exactly the same thing. The radical element of the left denies basic biological reality. I mean, you're militating against these basic realities that we all understand, and that's not happening on the right. There is no equivalent of that, of someone saying that men can have babies.
What are you fucking complaining about, Florida Groypert? Automod deleted. Unify around the crazies and let's see who wins, bitch. AI mod deleted that one for bullying. I don't know. I kind of feel like you were bullying a little bit. I feel like that was a bully. Do you feel like that was a nice thing to say? Okay, Florida Groypert, look at the cute and sweet little guy right next to your name. Let's just do this real quick. Why don't you take a look at whoopsies. Dude, get out of my fucking face, Dan Zamnit, you idiot. All right, take a look at the cute and sweet little guy next to your name and tell me, is that something that he would say? Is that something that he would want? This 3-month little guy with his little hat and his little hearts. Stupid badge, TBH. All right, now that's too far. Okay, now that's too far. What do we think, boys? What are we going to think for the ban on this one? 1 hour, 5 minutes. We could do a custom minutes. How about 500 minutes? How much time is that? 6 months? All right. How many we can do the day. Oh, here, easy. How many months is 6 months? Like 30 about? All right, should we do that? 30 months, do we think? I feel like that's kind of fair. Wait, what is that? 30 weeks? Okay, that's pretty good. No, we'll give him 6 minutes to think about the things that he said. Okay. There we go. Sorry, the chill Minecraft music really took.
Like that's
took me
there's
out
just
of the
no
zone.
there's no exact equivalent of that. But the
I
second
wasn't
point
ready to
on the
punish him
Politico
after that.
article itself. Okay.
25 to 11.
Obviously, if somebody says something publicly and they've decided to announce it to the world, well, then that's fair game for anyone to disagree and anyone to say anything they want about it. But with that in particular, I think that in almost every case, if you are speaking in private, you're having a private conversation, and then somebody with obviously sinister intentions comes along and takes that private conversation and makes it public. In almost every case, my position is, and this has always been my position, I don't care. I'm not even paying attention to it. Okay, I am not going to
Ben is so
dignify that. I'm not
pissed.
going to go along with it. I'm not going to.
Look at Ben's response to that. That's so crazy. Watch Ben's face.
Okay, I am not going to dignify that. I'm not going to go along with it. I'm not going to give you what you want. I'm not going to reward that strategy. And by the way, part of that's a principled stand on my part. It's also it's like a self-preservation thing. I don't want people doing that to me. I don't want people going through.
He's so pissed. He's so fucking pissed, dude. Even the fake laugh.
And revealing my private conversations. Not because I'm saying those kinds of things, but because these are.
Look how red his face is. Dude, Matt Walsh is out here fighting for his fucking life, dude. Holy shit. Come on, free my mans. Free my mans.
Fred Durst sent $3.
Stop using the shark
Fred
collar
Durst
on
here
him.
From Limp Bizkit. Break stuff mode activated. Me and the whole crew
Wow,
are
hey,
massive
Fred
fans
Durst.
of America First. Your takes hit harder than our mosh pits, keeping it real against the globalist
Boom.
BS. Keep rolling, rolling, rolling.
Let's go. Keep rolling, rolling, rolling. Keep rolling, rolling, rolling. Let's go. Press 1 to that. Thanks, Limp Bizkit. I'll make sure to do a Limp Bizkit with my friends and think about you guys.
Private conversations. Now, there are exceptions to that. One exception is if you're running for political office and you want to be the top law enforcement official in a state, and you've said privately that you think that, half of your state should die. Well, that's one of those exceptions. And I think probably in general, if you're running for political office, that's an exception. There are things that become fair game that otherwise wouldn't be. But outside of those exceptions, I just fundamentally disagree with the idea that we should.
Andrew Clavland hasn't fucking said anything yet. It's because he has fewer than 1 million followers. He's not allowed to talk at these meetings, and he only gets 4,000 views per video now.
To give these people anything that they want, or that we need to start now condemning things that were said in private in conversations that had nothing to do with us. We weren't involved. We don't have the context. They were not intended for any of us to even see in the first place. And should we police that?
So
I would say no.
I want to say this.
Let's go.
First, I agree with everything that Matt is saying in its context, in the context that we're talking about. I don't see why I should care about these people on a private chat. I don't think private chat should be revealed. And when the New York Times is spewing out perversion and racism at a level that is
True.
far.
The Democrats are the real racists. Thanks, Andrew Clavland. Do you have any clue why this guy's only getting 4,000 views per video with 800,000 followers? I just have no fucking idea what it could be. But anyway, yeah, no, I totally agree that the Democrats are the real racists.
Far beyond anything these people are saying, and incitements to violence. I don't see why a private chat compares to the New York Times and the crap that they turn out every day. I also agree with Ben that nobody should be censored. I don't want to censor absolutely anybody. However, let me say this. When J.D. Vance comes out and he condemns these people, and J.D. Vance is one of my favorite people in the administration. He was my choice for vice president before.
J.D. Vance, favorite of Andrew Clavland.
Trump picked him. I think he's doing a spectacular job. He would have a lot more authority if he would stop hanging out with Tucker Carlson.
I guess it depends on what you mean by that exactly, because if you disagree with things that Tucker Carlson says, then no one is saying that you can't disagree with them, you can't make your disagreement known, you can't debate them, whatever. Like, of course. Of course you can do that. I don't agree with everything that Tucker says. I don't agree with everything that anyone on the right says.
It's
Now,
a different category,
I do think,
though, It's a different category.
Oh, you can't criticize Israel. It's different when you criticize Israel.
I mean, yeah, you and I disagree, Ben.
No, you could disagree, but as long as we all agree that Israel is the greatest country on the planet.
I disagree. We're all talking about the same world that's actually happening.
We're talking about the same world where Israel is a good guy.
No, to say that Hamas...
Well, I think,
say that Hamas doesn't need to be killed to the man. Dude, it's like literally crazy. It's genuinely a fucking struggle session, and bro is turning fucking red as a fucking tomato.
Yes, I think Tucker is talking about the same world. I think he's got, I think he's got different views on the world than you.
Oh shit, what's that fucking cyberpunk song I like so much? What is it? I really want to stay at home. Dude, what a banger. Sorry, this one just made me think of it, Cat.
Anonymous sent $3 on Benjamin exposes the group chat leak as up CO. Are you ready for this Red Pill Wars? Link.
I'm ready for the red pill, dude. Lock in, lock in. This is like the greatest song ever. It's crazy. Brrr. Finish Cyberpunk? Should I? I guess I could. Wait. Come on. Hey, come on. Come on. Come on. Why? I've done it again, by the way. This is the second. I've never finished Cyberpunk. This is the second time that I quit Cyberpunk like 3 minutes before the end because I got bored. Alright, what do we got? Owen Benjamin here? I think the Republican group text leak was just to make everyone arguing for Candace's group text being gospel to say, this is out of context. A lot of psyopers are just highly edited real events with people involved and how forces feels. It seems like an ought to undermine the credibility of group text and people's psychology. Wow. Boom. Now I'll know that group texts aren't good. That's awesome, dude. Do you know what I saw today that was really funny? Brandon Tatum. He wrote a Substack, so I just copy-pasted it. I copy-pasted it into an AI detector. And obviously, it was just 100% fake. This guy's so fucking stupid, it's crazy. Holy shit, man. This is his stuff. Dude, him and fucking Dalton Clodfelter using AI to pretend to be smart. Dude. I started doing this to Dalton, and he fakes all of his tweets. He uses AI for them. And now I do it to people every once in a while whenever I'm thinking. It's so funny because literally my thought process before doing it was just like, Brandon Tatum's too stupid. He can't write a fucking Substack. Brandon Tatum can barely read, let alone write. Let me just check it, see if it's AI. And hey, what can we say? What can we say? But it's 100% fucking AI. All right, ladies and germs, completely fabricated.
You do, but if we're talking about standing up and saying, I disagree with that strenuously, here's why, well then yeah, absolutely. If we're talking about, I know you said you're not supporting censorship, but if we're talking about sort of driving somebody out of the movement, alienating them, saying, that disowning them, that sort of thing, I absolutely, totally, very much disagree with that.
Matt, you might disagree on that on Tucker. I'm just
the mercy killing is the same.
Oh my god, dude, it's a fucking feeding frenzy, dude.
Saying a man can become a woman, it's just as crazy.
Well,
hold on.
Let's
take Tucker off the table there for a second, because obviously Tucker is a very fraught topic for a lot of people, myself included. But I think that, I guess the question for Matt is, there are certain people who you would basically say don't belong in the movement. And so the question...
Do you remember the initial Tucker Ben Shapiro beef? Sorry, I'm like a lore head. I'm like a lorehead. Do you remember the initial Tucker Ben beef when it first started breaking up? It was this. What was it? It was when Tucker. It was over October 7th. It was right at the start of October 7th, and it was because Tucker Carlson said we got a fentanyl problem in America as a response to October 7th. Damn, I can't remember what to look up. Yeah, here it was.
Well, folks, Tucker Carlson is a really interesting guy. He has some interesting takes on economics as well. He and I have had discussions about those.
Yeah, really interesting guy. You can see how pissed he is.
He did an interview with Glenn Greenwald recently where he started attacking what he called libertarian economics. Tucker and I did this really interesting interview a couple years ago now. Probably longer than that, maybe 5 years ago. Here's more of Tucker.
Intellectual framework to justify the private equity culture that's hollowed out the country. That's my personal view, and I've seen it up close my whole life, so I think it's a fair assessment. I think a smarter way to assess an economic system is by its results. So you can assign whatever name you want to the economic system of the United States. You could call it market capitalism. You could call it, you could call it a whole host of different things. But I don't think any of that's useful. Those are boring conversations. I think you need to ask, does this economic system produce a lot of dollar stores?
I like the new UI for YouTube, by the way. I've said it before, but I'll once again say it. I like the new UI.
And if it does,
I think it's better. And I kind of think that like most of the YouTube UI updates have just been good. You know what I mean?
Not a system that you want.
I feel like there's a lot of chutting out about the YouTube changes that happened, and now YouTube looks like way better than it used to, and it's like not even arguable.
Because it degrades people, and it makes their lives worse, and it increases exponentially the amount of ugliness in your society. And anything that increases ugliness is evil. And it's just kind of, let's just start there. So if it's such a good system, why do we have all these dollar stores?
Okay, that is an amazing statement. Why exactly are dollar stores the root of all evil? So first of all, I should...
You remember this shit? Back in the good old days. When was this? This was December 23.
I love Hitler. Leaked messages...
I love Hitler. I love Hitler. My name's Ben Shapiro, and I love Hitler.
And I think for everybody, and I think this is one that we should openly discuss. I mean, if we're going to have these discussions, is who doesn't? Right? Like, who doesn't?
I'll give you a takeaway.
Nick Fuentes isn't allowed in the movement. We all agree. As long as everybody agrees that Nick Fuentes and the Groypers aren't allowed in the movement.
On this that is obviously timely.
Bro, we're the movement.
Charlie was killed. The guy did like 10 jobs. I mean, it takes innumerable people to fill all the things he did. The most valuable thing he did from a political coalition standpoint is he kept the coalition together, and his events were the events to go to, and his platform was...
So it would really suck if you were banned from those events, huh?
Was really setting the agenda for the Republican Party. And Charlie made a really important point to have a coalition in which he would not be pressured to get rid of Tucker, but he also wouldn't be pressured to get rid of people who hated Tucker.
He was pressured to get rid of Tucker and Candace. And didn't a bunch of Israeli people really get upset with him over that?
Or who Tucker hated, or whoever, where the various constituencies hated them. But Charlie, furthermore, to your point, Ben, also drew a line. There were plenty of people that were not permitted into TPUSA events. And so he did this in, I think, an obviously very effective way, a way that did not fall into the perils of,
Yeah, okay, so then Michael Knowles is still behind it. Michael Knowles is still carrying water.
A movement becoming too extreme, and I just wonder if there's not a lesson that we could take from that.
I think here's a good rule of thumb about Charlie. By the way, how about this?
Look at fucking Matt Walsh. This is crazy, dude. I got a tweet about this. This is like insane. Look at Matt Walsh, man. Crazy. Crazy. Dude, honestly, all of them, dude. The faces from today's fucking struggle session. That's so insane, man. Come on, dude. That's so wild, dude. Today's struggle. 3v1 struggle. I guess it's kind of like a 2v1. Was fucking That's so wild, dog. That's so, what an insane still.
From that.
I mean, I think a good, here's a good rule of thumb about Charlie, by the way. How about this? How about you probably don't belong in a leadership position, shall we say, in the conservative movement if you won't just buy into the basic factual idea that Charlie Kirk was murdered by a gay man who is a trans furry lover. How about that? If you spend your days fulminating.
So we're in. So we're in.
About all the other things with regard to Charlie and speculate that he was murdered by other forces, that seems to me not connected with reality. I mean, that's something that Erica has said. That's something TPUSA has said. Like that seems like a pretty good, easy rule of thumb. That if you're spending,
dude, like the thing is, like the stills like are crazy. Like Matt Walsh just looks like that throughout the entire thing. Like he just like looks insane. This is only 40 minutes in as well. This isn't the whole thing in. Like genuinely, I can't get over like Matt Walsh's fucking face, dude. Let up on the shock collar. Fucking free him already, huh? This is insane, dude. Clam. Free my man. It's literally insane. Like that's crazy. It's crazy that that's what bro looks like. That I'm not even like having to find an insane still. Like this is just what he looks like when Ben Shapiro is talking. He just looks like he's just like fucked up the whole time, dude. Just sitting there with a red face, fucked the entire time.
Say has said. Like that seems like a pretty good, easy rule of thumb. That if you're spending all your days doing that, if you even tangentially are doing that, seems if you're trying to divide them.
Literally, it looks like he's like on hour 4 of arguing with his significant other right now. You know, he's like on hour 4 of arguing with his wife, and he's like at the point in the in the fight where he doesn't even know what they're arguing about anymore. You know. Yes, dear. Yes, dear.
Matt, I thought that what you said when Charlie died was right. You know, that one of Charlie's goals was to keep the movement together. It's obviously something JD is trying to do. He's trying to keep people in the room together. I totally get it. I've talked publicly about the fact that Tucker called me that day, 2 days after Charlie was shot and said, like, let's stop fighting. And I said, you know what? That sounds great to me. That's fine. I really don't want to be fighting with you because obviously we have other priorities. In fact, I even offered Tucker that we should get on stage together and talk about the things that we agreed with. He's yet to take me up on that offer. But the bottom line here is that, you know, when it comes to where you set limits at some point are going to have to be set. And it seems to me that the move on the right is that because we don't like the left at all, because the left is bad, there must be no limit set. And any attempt to set a limit is somehow firing inside the tent.
He's reading.
And what this actually leads to is many.
You can see he's just reading. He's literally reading. There's probably another monitor up there. He's probably still reading.
Of the same people who are firing inside the tent, then turning around and claiming that you're violating the truce. Because I'll tell you what, it's Nick Fuentes who's attacking Donald.
It's literally a pre-fucking made statement, and of course he's talking about Nick there. Is that so crazy, bro? I instantly picked up that he wasn't talking from the heart anymore, that he was reading from a teleprompter, and it just so happens that that's the fucking second time in 50 minutes that we mentioned Nick by name. Crazy. Wild. Wow, that's strange. Why did we need a prepared statement for that? Why couldn't we just do that one off the dome? Anyway, sorry, let's hear that one more time. And hey, dude, maybe I'm insane. You check out his eyes. Tell me if you think he's just looking around normally. The way that he keeps looking at this one sort of area right here, and then every once in a while he glances away, and then sure as heck looks right back down to whatever is just off screen right there.
And what
he's looking up and to the left.
Actually leads to
and right back to the prompter.
Many of the same
up
people
into the right, up into the left again.
Who are firing,
looking forward for a brief second, right back to the prompter.
Inside the tent, then turning around and claiming that you're
completely locked in on the prompter for this part.
You're violating the truce. Because I'll tell you what, it's
looking up, looking around. I'll tell you what.
It's Nick Fuentes who's attacking Donald Trump on a regular basis.
Wow, attacking Trump on a regular basis. How dare you? How dare you attack Donald Trump? I, Ben Shapiro, am a Trump loyalist. Ben Shapiro and JD Vance, handshake, being forever Trumpers, being only loyal to Donald Trump 24/7, never being a never Trumper. Let's go.
It is Alex Jones who's attacking Donald Trump on a regular basis. I mean,
he doesn't even, does he? Maybe a little bit. He's reticent too.
It is Tucker Carlson who's attacking Donald Trump on a fairly regular basis, actually.
Wow.
So
that's so real. All right, there goes our movement, boys. It's true that we do attack Donald Trump. So I guess how can we really be conservatives if we're attacking Donald Trump? I never thought about it like that. Fuck. So simple.
And I think that the friendly fire should stop across the board, and I've been very clear about that.
You mean the show, not just the
I think that the show.
That's getting late. That's right.
But let me so two because the two things. Number one, just on your point, Ben, about who killed Charlie Kirk. I've been very clear about it. This was clearly This was leftist violence, and we should stay focused on that. I think we're letting them off the hook when we try to blame anybody else other than the left. This was leftist violence for sure. Does that mean that anyone who feels differently should be drummed out of the movement? No, I don't think so. And I also think that that it's like we're not even in a position to decide.
Wow. You gotta give Matt Walsh his flowers for that. That's crazy. That's like that's wild.
Who should be a leader? Who should have a platform?
You know what? That takes having a penis and balls to do, Matt Walsh, and I respect you for that. I tip my hat to you, sir. I know that you're gonna pay for that one. You are not going to enjoy that. That's, bro, what an even better still. Like, genuinely, every single still from this is like genuinely like gold. Every still from this debate is just, it just completely shows where everyone is. Like, genuinely, from any single, like, screenshot. The two Jewish people, Ben, who is literally calling in from Israel right now, seething, as is Clavland, and Michael Knowles is shaking in his boots watching his fellow Goyim fellow Goy get himself into some shit with the boss uncomfortably. That's dude, that's wild. Brr, 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 brr. And it's literally just real. Like every still is just that. Every still is just that. It's the most insane struggle session.
Platform who should be getting attention in this movement. It's like that's not up to us to decide anyway.
Well, no, but it's up to a decision. It's up to us.
Hang on a second. Let me just say, after Charlie died, okay, a couple days after Charlie died, I put out a tweet where I said that I want to call a truce. I can only do it on my end. I want to call a truce. I want to extend an olive branch to everybody on my side, everybody on the right. Okay, everybody to the right of Bill Maher. I want, including him. Not that I ever had really a beef with him, but I want to extend a truce because we are dealing with a threat. We are dealing. Drew, you said it yourself. These are people like the political violence is on one side.
Who the fuck is Drew? What?
This is on one side. There is one side that engages in political.
Oh, Andrew.
Political violence. There is one side that like rejects the basic realities of life. There's one side that's responsible for murdering 60 million babies in this country. Okay, it's one side. And so I think that for right now, and maybe we'll get back to the arguments, maybe we'll get back to the infighting, we'll get back to that in the future, I'm sure. But for right now, I think we need to be unified against this threat, especially now, especially with the midterms coming up and the presidential election right after that. The left, if they get back into control, they're going to be out for blood even more than they ever have been. And so we need to be united against that together. And that's what I said. When I said that a couple days after Charlie's death, you know the response I got? Almost every single comment I got was yes, amen, absolutely, I'm with you. Almost every single comment. I said the exact same thing like 2 days ago, and it completely flipped. Now almost every single comment is, how could you say this? I can't unite with them. There's no way. I can't do that. And it's just, I haven't changed. What I'm saying is no different than what I said a month ago. I haven't changed. I don't think the situation has changed at all. And I don't know why everything else has flipped.
Because I think if you take that to its full extent, it's crazy. It works within a context, but surely there is some kind of human decency level that you can cross where no, you're not on my side. I mean, I don't understand why if you support the cat's paw of Iran where they sit around and chant death to America, what makes you a conservative?
Whoa, so true. Claflin really has no he has no like subtlety whatsoever. You know, it's just like every single time it's just a pointed question like, but they are evil because they don't support Israel, so how could I be on their side? Okay, but they're evil because they support Iran and Hamas against Israel. How could they be on my side if they don't support Israel, Matt Walsh?
What makes you a conservative that you...
How could you be a conservative if you don't support Israel, huh?
You say tough-sounding things. I mean, that you talk in a loud voice about, the problems of the country.
Yeah,
I don't know. True. What makes you a conservative if you are in favor of a regime that...
If I'm in favor of Iran, how could I be a conservative? That's so real, dude. That's so true. You know, Iran is a conservative... establishment, right? I'd categorize them as conservative, actually. Iran, would you call them liberal? Their government, the government of Iran is particularly, they're libtarded? Is this fucking horseshoe theory again? Them and Antifa?
Used to have, until Trump took it away, the capacity to actually hurt us. I don't understand the anti-American...
I'd call a fucking religious fundamentalist state pretty fucking conservative. That's just me, though.
I would say you're not on our side. You're not a conservative if you are not interested in conserving and preserving and defending Western civilization. And I guess the one point I'll give in your favor, Drew and Ben, is that I do think that there are some people who claim to be conservatives who actually are not interested in conserving Western civilization at all. And so if you don't want to conserve that, then like we're just not, we actually are fundamentally, because that's the thing I'm saying we need to unite to defend.
They can't define conservatism is the problem. Like, and Matt Walsh has just touched it with a stick because he's the only fucking one with balls and not Jewish, right? But he's just touched it with the stick, is that the definition of what it is to be a conservative is this Western civilization thing. That you're a conservative if you defend Western civilization. And once again, as always, and as we really can't, I don't think the audience is missing this anymore. That means white people, right? That means white European Americans, okay? And Native Americans, that's what it means. Native Americans meaning white European founding stock and immigrants thereafter that assimilated.
Is Western civilization. And
but
so,
when you say
for
Western
example,
civilization, that has to mean something, right?
Yes, right. So for example, in recently I've been talking.
Can I say as well, because it's not 1920, all right? And obviously I'm immigrant stock, I'm not founding stock, like fucking Michael Knowles or whatever from the Mayflower. But I'm sure I am founding stock, though. You know what I mean? And maybe like, I feel like people don't like this, but this is like vanity. I am founding stock, even if I'm just like 5%, okay? And the rest of me is immigrant. Like, you tell the difference. You find me on the street and you tell me like, I'm not a founding stock American. I'm any different than, whatever. The only real definition is race and religion, obviously after that. But like that is the definition, is race. And I would say that even if somebody like right now, if you married a Russian girl, you're founding stock, are your kids founding stock? Of course they are, right? Anyway, sorry.
About the Islam,
the point is that like what it is to be an American is to be a European and then to mix into us, and once the mixing has happened, I consider you like full-blooded American, essentially, Like, America is built on, like, race or ethnicity mixing, but not race mixing. And that's where they always try to trick you. I believe 1,000,000% that Americans are a specific ethnicity distinct from Europeans. But we are still white, obviously, right? You know what I mean? And that was the idea of America, was to take all of the greatest people from Europe and mold them and forge them into a new race of white people, which are Americans, right? And that's what happened. That's why we went so fucking crazy mode, even though everyone wants to pretend it's something else. But, that's what America's literally all about. Our race is American. But they've been trying their hardest to deny that legitimacy massively. And which is crazy too, because I see like white nationalists like jumping over themselves to try to own Nick on this because he's selling that nativist flag, right? And it's like, oh, well, the know-nothings in the fucking 1920s wouldn't have liked you. Yeah, well, they were wrong. Okay, like, I'm sorry to say, they were wrong, and like this is like a better and a more correct understanding of what America's about. They were wrong, and they were like really stupid to be doing that and trying to, and of course there are things that they were right about, but like overall they were wrong, and I think it did end up harming our ability to define what an American
Florida
is in the long
Groipa just
term.
gifted 1 subscription on Kick.
And we're using it the right way. We are native. We are part of the race of Americans. And because we are a distinct race, that has as its homeland America, And it's obviously like so true to everybody. Like, dude, could you go live in fucking England right now? Could you go live in fucking Germany, right? Where did your people come from? You can't go back. And it's not just about it's not just about the language. If you learned Polish or wherever the fuck you came from, you wouldn't be Polish if you went back. Then, therefore, you are a different ethnicity than your ancestors, even though you share the same DNA, Anyway, or most of the same DNA. Why? Because you probably got some Dutch in you. You probably got some French in you. You probably got some Anglo-Saxon or some, whatever in you. Us being mudded is what it is to be an American white, And from that mudding of the American or of the white race is where all the greatness came from, unironically. Anyway.
Islamic takeover of Dearborn.
Because it's not, like, to get, like, maybe even a bit more autistic, we're not even just white people. We are literally the best of the white stock, We are a eugenic thing.
Florida Groipa just gifted 1 subscription on Kick.
Like, not to suck our own dicks too hard, but, like, genuinely, like, think about it, okay? Like, and I've talked about this before, but, like, we selected for only the ambitious, right? Only the ambitious or desperate people came over. And then we also had a supply downside where people who you know, people who couldn't make it wouldn't make it in America, where people would bust out. They'd be busting, right? So it's on both ends, it's eugenic. Anyway.
I've had people...
Varg made the argument that only the worst of Europe went to America. Yeah, well, that's why Varg's in fucking Europe, dude. How did that turn out for him? Where's Varg's movement?
Who I guess claim to be conservatives who are trying to tell me that actually this is a very good thing, that our country becomes Islamic. And it's like, okay, we're clearly not on the same side. You're trying to conserve Islamism, and that is not what I'm trying to conserve. So obviously you get to a point where it's like, yeah, like lines are drawn, and I think the line is at conserving and defending Western civilization, and anyone who's on board with that and wants to do that, I think we should work together. But if someone says, I'm not interested, I don't want your olive branch.
You know, like, dude, it's just that, like, the problem is that Europeans aren't free and they're not sovereign. And that has, like, a huge effect on a people, especially if they've been told it's, like, a good thing and it's normal, you know? Europeans are just under our great power. They're not growing up thinking that their country is the great power. America is the great power. You know what I mean? I don't know. It just, like, fucks with their brains. They're just not capable of it anymore. Like, think about it. Like none of these people are, like, engaged in actual diplomacy or actual, like, world power games except for France. And even still, they're, like, clearly our little bro.
Screw you.
You know, and it's like, just, I don't know. Just think about it, like, fucking 100 years ago. Like, it was completely different. Think about it fucking, 70 years ago. We don't have a multipolar world anymore. Or we do, but it's, America and China.
I have gotten that response from a lot of people. Well, then that's your choice, and we got to...
I just don't want us to make the decision. I don't want to make the decision on who's defending Western civilization according to popularity. I don't think that's
dude. Like like Karasu, you can, like, fight against it all you want, but, like, it's not like you guys are building fucking aircraft carriers, okay? And it's not like you guys are building fucking nukes, and it's not like you guys are doing anything. You guys are defenseless retards. 2 years ago, we looked at your army and we said that you guys barely even count as a first world nation. Okay? Like, and that's what I'm describing. The fact that you guys, like, all gave up and you guys all were just sort of like, oh, okay, I guess we're a vassal state of America and we don't have to buid an army and we don't have to do anything anymore.
Talks of this. Sit your VTuber ass down and listen.
True.
All of the true areas.
True.
They heard.
Whoa.
They heard.
Whoa, my older brother.
And it said, come,
I'm only 13.
Come forth to the new world. Build it up from nothing. Conquer these red men and plant your seed across from sea to shining sea. Manifest your destiny here. And they came to America, and the new Atlantis was built, and it was built up grand. And over there, in the fucking bogs of England, crawling around in their swamps was the last remainders of England. Oh, I'm from London, England. I live in a fucking swamp over here. I'm not leaving me swamp for nothing. Oh, you can't make me leave me swamp. I'm never getting out. I'm living me swamp forever. Let's go, Birmingham. Let's fucking go.
Warwick sent $6. Wurzelroot talks of this. Sit your VTuber ass down and listen.
True.
All of the true Aryans.
We just played this. But yeah, Truk. He's truking. My older brother gets it right again.
This has all been very fun. I mean, truly, truly enjoyable. But Matt, I need you to talk to us about how you sleep at night.
Hold on, I got a better transition. Let me do the transition. I got a better one. I got a better one. So, hey, we've been talking about who it would be prudential for us to get in bed with politically. Now, Matt, would you tell us about how you get into bed? Well, that was a much better transition.
Boo! Sorry, that just sucked.
Transition.
I don't know. I thought Ben was.
I love it, dude. It's like totally a fucking hazing ritual. Like Matt Walsh is like, he's playing like the Kai clips here. You know what I mean? What was his name? Michael Knowles. Michael Knowles is playing like the Kai clips here, and he's like pretending like he doesn't know that this is hazing. You know, he's pretending like he doesn't understand that, like, you know, this is actually a struggle session that we're doing right now. But, dude, fucking Kavlan instantly knows. Bro's just throwing it out.
Better be honest.
What?
I worked on
that whole segment I was working on.
Yeah, let me tell you about this. I'm going to do it very organically. And other studies.
They brought some bitch on?
Of these ideologies, it would seem as though they are on the precipice of being eradicated from public life entirely. To help us understand this, we bring on our Gen Z correspondent and a new member of the Daily Wire family, Isabel Brown. Hello, Isabel.
Let's go.
Hey, gang. How's it going? I'll tell you, waiting in the wings the last few minutes was quite entertaining.
Isabel, I need to know, is your generation not gay anymore? It's like that video, like, I'm not gay anymore. Is that happening?
And if so, where are we going to get our interior designer?
Tell you people, I have been trying to warn the world that Gen Z, the kids, were all right for a very long time. Literally a year ago, a year and a half ago, I should say, was laughed off set at every TV network, every radio station, every podcast when I presented my book that it was Gen Z that was going to.
Who the fuck is this bitch?
Save America.
It's so funny that they're still making them write books. You know what I like the fake little books that nobody's ever read. Fucking Brylan has a fake book too.
That no one wanted to be a lame gay chick like Disney wanted us to be, and South Park so beautifully predicted.
Awesome.
The numbers, of course, needed some time to catch up, but I think the kids are going to be all right, and none of this information out of this new study shocks me. The idea of the cultural fad of the transgender cult, which is really what we've been seeing for a long time, has already been disillusioned thanks to people boldly speaking the truth. I know you guys were mentioning Charlie just a few minutes ago when I spoke on campus at the first prayer vigil.
When I spoke on campus. Is this bitch Canadian? Or is that, what is that, Minnesota? When I spoke on campus. Oh, don't you know when I spoke on campus? Spoke on campus the other week.
At the campus that he was
campus. Oh, I spoke on the campus.
Scheduled to speak at next, my alma mater at Colorado State. There was a young woman who came up to me, and I just think this is so indicative of the Gen Z story right now. She said, I have to tell you something. And when she started speaking to me, I was a little wondering where she was falling on the political spectrum. She gave extreme leftist vibes, but she pulled me aside and she said, I have to tell you something. Charlie Kirk saved my life from gender ideology. I thought that I was non-binary. I thought that I needed to castrate myself and take all of these puberty blockers and hormone-affirming drugs. I thought I was going to end my life at one point because of all of these lies. And only one person ever had the courage to tell me the truth, that I am a woman and I was created on purpose to be a woman. And that was Charlie Kirk. He wasn't mean about it. He was kind about it, but he let me have self-respect and an ability.
All right, dude, I don't actually give a fuck about any of this.
Expose young Republicans' racist chat.